First of all, I just want to start by saying thank you, God. I want to put this thing in the face of this loser, the government contract. And this also is a way to warn them that it will be reaction of a expected way. There's not going to be any honking, loud noises that's going to cover that up. And I love to put that in their faces. This is going to be a quick video. And I know that the perps involved as in programming in regard of like what's happening are the bottom feeders. Those I know who's in charge. Those I know who's behind what's happening to us. They're just the implementers. And it's funny how dedicated they get, but they are like really the nothings in this whole thing, which I'm okay with. I don't have any care about them being exploited in that way. It's not my concern. If anything, my concern is how I'm going to react accordingly. And I've warned these losers many times that I will not have sympathy. And I don't want to promote violence. But they make it very easy to go that route. And you heard the noise campaign, the sirens. I'm like, wow. You really want me to go that route? Like what? It's like this perps almost want me to crash out. It's like almost designed for that. It's like almost made for a target to lose their mind. And I don't know the perps participant that know that. Because maybe it's architected that way, but I don't think those people implementing know that this is where it's really designed to go. There's no other choices. And then they utilize some of the losers on earth. And I call them the contracted, mentally challenged. But I don't think they're too far from the character they play. Meaning that they're not that far from being almost mentally retarded. No, they have this like ways of thinking that you will have this reasonability to now react in this aggressive way because you are a reasonable person. But they can be so irreasonable and nonsensical with no consequences. And truthfully, I've passed out. I'm no longer there. I think it's only reasonable for me to act accordingly now. The way they even act with tantrums. As like, how dare you just not let us live this fantasy? How dare you not let us play this game? I'm like, I swear to God, you make it more obvious that you need me to do something. What you're saying here is the level of stupidity. And I heard this trash in the hallways, and I warned them, it's like, you come around me playing this game on the soul of all the children I know you guys are killing. I will go the way you don't think I'm gonna go. They utilize this teenage, disgusting, low-life piece of fucks. Excuse my language, but that's how the emotion, the hatred I have for this low-life. That I detest so much that my soul is ready to react accordingly when I see them. I've warned them, it's like, you come very near me, I will not let that go. I told you this. I know what you're part of is destructive to even children, and then you come near me, I swear to God, you will not like it. It's not even about me. It's not about me. It's about what you stand for, what you try to cover up, and the entitlement that you have. With no expectation of consequences. I have nothing to lose, and you have so much more to lose than me that I don't care. It's not fair that I'm the one who's supposed to restrict myself, and you who have so much more to lose is the one who's going all out. No way. That is not gonna happen. I'm gonna see this trash. And it's gonna go left. You see this little retard over there? I don't care if I don't blur it. I'm tired. You gotta see what these losers look like. This little disgusting retard trash that live around me. This little battlefield looking like this. Looking like a little bizarre, little beast things. Have been so hyped up to believe that I will be interested in this. Listen, today I'm a target individual dealing with V2K. It's synthetic therapy, so my brain and my mind can be manipulated in however ways. And they have a little disgusting little loser like that, looking like that, who think I'm going to internalize these things. The little disgusting I swear to God, the day they come near me, I told them it's going to be a show that they will never forget. It will change their life. And I'm not saying I'm going to crash out, but I'm saying they will never do that again. They will never do this again, I swear to God. No matter who excites them, and I know who excites them. This little loser, I'm gonna do a little minimal blur, but this is the little trash that live around me that apparently are the disgusting losers of perps the government contract. They are not even adults. Some disgusting weirdos. That I warn them that I will not restrain myself if they can't play that game. Because the game they're supposed to play is act like they are victimized by me. Sexually. Some of them come out of this apartment looking like they're mentally retarded. I swear to God. I thought some of them came out, and I think it was a way to kind of minimize the rage. They come out of their apartment looking like mentally challenged, so I don't react in a rage way. And I'm warning them. I'm not even letting them hyping themselves up. I'm not even letting them gassing themselves up. I'm giving them all the chance possible to understand that it is not going back for me. I know what I'm going to do. And I warn them that the second this game is played, and these losers and bottom feeders are such losers that the people who excite them are opportunists that have been humiliated. In this program, you're going to hear the horrible shit they do to women and children. Not only of the rage of the stupidity they try to frame me as, or what they want to frame, I deal with the manipulations. But coming from people who are harming the youngest. And some of the participate in this program are not even adults. It's like a groomage of some level to normalize this evil that the government is behind. When you see this teenage participant, you clearly know that it's a government program. And children are participating in this scheme. It's so disgusting. Now, I don't have no sympathy for them. I know obviously children are being exploited for them to participate. But the worst are those teenage disgusting trash. Because with me, it got to the level where they tell me they're going to frame me with this disgusting trash. I've made videos for years about these losers. That if some trash come near me, playing that game around me like we're together, you know where things are going to go. I've made enough videos about making clear. Or making clear in the way. I will not be submissive and allow them to play that game. If something happens, understand that it's because some of these losers have tried to play the game in front of me, and I will not allow that. I will not allow that. If they play this game in front of me, I don't think I'll be alive. That's all I can say. And I understand what it means. But they have the option to not do it. I'm giving the warnings. I don't care. This could be bad. That's all I know. This could be really bad. And it's not going to take much for me to get to that point. I give them a little bit of tolerance, but the second they even say hi to me, it'll be a dangerous thing. But they being excited by people who are not going to be the one taking that risk. What they risk is playing the game, thinking that it's like they try to self me to this thing they prep. I remember being at the office, and I'm not going to bring up the industry, which you can just imagine what industry will be involved in a program where human subjects are part of. Yeah, that industry. And I saw this trash, like, yeah, they were like saying things, and I'm like, you will make this teen trash get killed. And I'm not saying me, but that's a dangerous thing that they can put themselves into. You're gonna put this trash in a circumstance where you're gonna put them in front of somebody who has nothing to lose, and they have way more to lose. And you expected the person you're doing that to do nothing. And a lot of these bottom feeders that you see here, unfortunately, being really exploited. And there's also a little bit of racial aspect of it all, because the people that live here are not from the same ethnicity of who I work for. So when I hear these people saying thank you guys, and thinking these little losers like that to be like, act like they got raped, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so disgusting. But it has nothing to do with me. I don't care. If you don't respect yourself, don't expect me to respect you. They know what's gonna happen here. They've seen it happen. They've seen it happen many times. Unfortunately, Stephen Marlowe killed a 15-year-old kid. And that kid didn't even play that game that this trash here play. But they expected me, I guess, because they thought the submissive aspect of who I am, or the non-aggressive person I am, will let that happen. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go the Stephen Marlowe route, but I'm just know this going to go somewhere. Let me show you how stupid these clowns are. I make this so obvious for them. So when we face each other, because this is the new version of MK Ultra, it is truly mind control and try to make you internalize of the manipulations. So when I see this out loud, the stupidity they want me to internalize, it is surreally retarded. You see these people here dancing. It's a DJ here dancing. She's a woman who's a grown woman being a DJ. Dancing after playing the music. And the dancing group, first of all, them dancing together is very fun to look at. I like to watch people dance. I like music. I like people who know how to dance. Meaning, I like to watch people who know how to dance. I like choreographers and music and people dancing. And it's nothing sexual. It's nothing that I can watch a bunch of group of men dancing who know how to dance with rhythm. But then this woman dance, and not only she's a good dancer, but it's not she's not a professional dancer. She just dances with the rhythm. She's a grown woman, a beautiful woman, and as she dances, makes her even make her look more beautiful. This grown woman. They start there making me think of when I watch, like, because I love music, I love people who know how to dance, in the sense of like I love like men and women dancing. That have rhythm. And I'm saying in a way that is not sexual. They make me think, oh, But remember when there was like maybe on a group of dancers like on Instagram when they were dancing in rhythm, blah blah blah, and and they make me think like, oh, those who are like young, who can be like teenagers or even like non-adults, and they were dancing together in synchrony. You watch that, and then they try to make me have the same stimulation they make me have toward this woman, because this woman knows how to dance and she's a woman. And make me think the way you look at a group of kids dancing will be the same way you look at this girl or this woman. And then you hear this teenage trash like, yeah, that's that. Not too long ago, a few years back, when I was being a target individual with Vito since August 19, 2019, there was this little girl dancing, but she knew how to dance. She was like, It was super cool. She was dancing, and little girl. And of course, today what they do when I see little kids, they force me to get sexual stimulation. But the fact that she was a dancer and she was like breaking that made me want to dance too. And she's like stopping, and she's like, yeah. And it makes you want you. They start giving me stimulations. Like, yeah, you see and today when they force me to get the sexual stimulations that forced me to have, it's like, yeah, you see how you looking at this woman. You see, it matches. You like people who dance. And it's because this woman is dancing and you can look at her in sexual ways. It means even if they're kids and they dance, you can look at them. And then there's perps who fuck around me, loser of human beings that dedicate their life a weekend where they can be outside living the best life they can live, out here trying to gaslight me, failing drastically, making me more enraged and ready to crash out. Looking like the losers that you're seeing here, just to make me internalize that, because this woman, I can look at her as she dances in a sexual way. I can look then at a child that was the same way. And then bringing up what they forced me to experience when I was here, seeing a child dancing. It's like, yeah, that's a match. And the fuckers torturing babies are protecting kids. Then they throw these retards around me, expecting me to not react accordingly. Let me tell you, I even look at women, a man dancing, and be like, oh my gosh, make me want to dance too. Listen, these fuckers have been exposed for being torturers of children and still try to paint themselves as some researchers that protect children and come up with retardation of this level. Then send this little retard for pay to gaslight me. Sorry for the rage that you hear in my voice, but you can only imagine what will happen if I face them. Pagme Joe, listen to the fuckers who are trying to gaslight me for the stupidity that you're seeing here. You see this grown woman dancing and how she's dancing? Can you imagine saying, oh, if you can look at this grown woman dancing like that and looking at her in a sexual way, that means when you see a group of like teenage kids dancing with rhythm and being cool and dancing, like it'd be like, oh, the same way, oh, stimulated, instead of like, oh my gosh, they're cool dancers. The proof is based on this grown woman dancing. And then you hear this trust like, yeah, right. See, like teenagers. Like, come here, let me show you how much I like you. For all the soul of these children suffering. And to hear this loserness, like this retard that you're seeing here, which is some teenage trash that live around. I know who kind of excite these people. Like I said, there's a different demographic of who excite these people that lives around me, and who are exciting them or making them believe that this is going to be perceived by me as in a sensical thing, instead of what it is that even push people to kill in masses. One of these little bizarre things that you're seeing there, there's one of these teen trash that they know. For me, I've given all the sign that it's going to be really, really bad. I give them the chance to just, you have things to lose, I don't. I'm telling you, for your own interest, that you better think twice, because I won't. I won't. I will go with what I said I've been saying I'm gonna do. I will not give them a tolerance of any sort. And so one of these trusts like, yeah, you're gonna be prayed when once we frame you. And the way prayed is because when me and my best friend back in 2008 and 7, when we were in our late teen, early 20s, the way we would like describe like going out, like be on the prowl, somebody who's like super on the prowl, always like trying to get numbers, like, oh, this guy's a hunter and this and that. And it's like, yeah. And we used to go to a nightclub where we started going there when we were teens and then early 20s. And it's like, yeah, you pray on this. It's like when we were ourselves, late teen, early 20s, with people our age, and using the word hunter as in like somebody who's like always on the prowl. So this little retard here who weren't even alive when me and my friend used to go out in our late teens and early 20s in places with people our age. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna be praised. Yeah, hunter trash. Having looseness of that nature. And the best thing is they think the honking in those campaign will circumvent the reality. I said it before. They're gaslighting themselves. And I'm not gonna even allow them, because you're gonna hear the horrible things they do to children. For me, whatever I'm gonna do is based on what they do to children. This is the horrible things you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear a child scream. You're gonna hear a child in agony. This trash will play like they're victimized, will deal with the reality, and I will never internalize this manipulation. Nobody's interested in them. And they're not in a thing that protects children. Nobody's interested in them. They're involved in something that harms children, from the youngest to the oldest. And they will pay for what they're part of if they play the game in front of me.
Over somebody, even though they're not putting their hand, they're putting the weapon on you, and there's nothing you can do. And that's an awful feeling.
It's usually combined with a very cruel microwave auditory effect, voices in their heads telling her, we're not raping you, we're just stimulating you. And that has got to be the most disgusting, wicked, evil, satanic thing I have ever heard.
Worryingly, a growing number of people are contacting TI support organizations to report that their children seem to be displaying signs of these weapons. Often, the parents are victims themselves, making the torture a generational thing.
A significant number of members, many single mothers and small children, minor children as young as 3 years old, are being targeted and harassed, particularly with voice-to-skull, V2K. The sickness that someone would torture a small child is beyond belief. We have confirmed that these kids are in fact receiving directed energy weapons and voice-to-skull. It's a very disturbing development for us. With children, they'll use their mother's voice. The parent has to tell the child, watch my lips. If you didn't see me say it to you, that wasn't me.
The youngest we have record of is as young as 3 years old. What they do is that they beam voices at these children's, and they say things to them. For example, one of them would say, they're gonna eat my stomach. They're telling me that they're gonna eat my stomach. Another mother tells me that her 5-year-old tells her she never has a quiet moment in her head. Like, imagine a child 24/7 having these voices going on. Not to mention the damage to their developing brains, because this is perpetrated with microwave beams that are being directed at young minds.
So, what evidence is
that our victims?
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons fired.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons fired by the CIA.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons.
I forgot to bring my flyers with me. I did bring my cards, but I forgot to bring the flyers because I didn't know I was going to be able to see him. And I just blurted out and I said, little girls are being microwaved by the CIA. And he was surrounded by women.
Eyes, and we have children as young as 3 years old that are hearing voices. They have implanted dreams, very violent and some in sexual nature. It to children, they're implanting children with atrocious dreams, many of them of a sexual nature, and it's just a throw these.
Of abuse of the human resources. My name is Catherine Nestor and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I ask Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today.
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I had a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture in me as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry and scream horribly during our therapy sessions despite having a great day at school. This was highly unusual behavior for her, as she usually behaved very well during her therapy sessions. I observed her gasping for air a few times in the same way that I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, "ow." I observed this at least on 1 or 2 occasions for each of them during their separate sessions. During one session, I observed one of my 3-year-old clients suddenly grab his crotch and lean forward in his chair. And then he made a frightening grimace of severe
And have had
Yeah. So, we've spoken a few times. I'm going through the same thing. Our situations are a little different. So I have the full-blown artificial telepathy. You're definitely receiving broadcasts because I've seen it in your photos. And, isn't it strange that sometimes you could feel some type of way that's not your feelings?
Yeah, they do that a lot. Can project anger, fear, and weird feelings. They can do pretty much anything that has access to the brain or to the mind.
Right.
Not just me, but I have children, and so my children are able to say certain things, like they can feel certain things.
Right.
Zaps on their body.
Yes, here's a filing-grounded, reportive case file summary of Devon Delaney Fraley and HF, with specific places you can verify each point in the accessible appellate petition materials, which reproduce key parts of the operative complaint. I'm going to rely most heavily on the Supreme Court appendix because it includes the relevant complaint excerpts verbatim, including the Fraley HF paragraphs, and is publicly accessible. 1. Where Fraley and HF appear across the litigation record. A District Court complaint excerpts in the Supreme Court appendix. The Supreme Court appendix contains the complaint section titled Devon Delaney Fraley and the follow-on paragraphs about HF starting immediately after that heading. B. Fifth Circuit Appeal, March 8, 2024. The Fifth Circuit opinion caption lists Devon Delaney Fraley and HF among the plaintiff's appellants. Notably, it labels JD and LM as a minor, but does not print a minor after HF in that caption line. C. Supreme Court Petition, July 23, 2024. The petition's petitioner list includes Devon Delaney Fraley and then separately lists HF a minor. It also includes a note explaining that after an amended complaint was filed, the minor daughter of petitioner Fraley was added as a claimant. Number 2, Fraley's allegations, what she claims happened to her. In the complaint excerpt, as reproduced in the appendix, Fraley alleges in substance she was nominated included in a TSDB subcategory, NS McCarthy blacklist, without notice and without an opportunity to rebut. She alleges she has suffered physical, electronic surveillance and organised stalking as part of being targeted. She alleges that around 2016, her targeting increased and she began experiencing artificial tinnitus and V2K continuously. She alleges directed energy weapon DW attacks causing burns, including to her feet and genital area. She alleges the DW attacks caused symptoms she characterises as indicative of Havana syndrome, described as permanent brain and physical injuries. She alleges social, professional, personal repercussions, including suffering, anxiety and loss, and requests remedies including removal from the TSDB and damages. That is the core Fraley-specific symptom set and theory as pled in the excerpted complaint text. 3. HF's allegations, what Fraley claims happened to the child. In the same reproduced complaint excerpt, the filing describes HF as Fraley's daughter and a toddler, specifically referred to as 3-year-old. The text uses 3-year-old daughters, but the context is HF as the single minor plaintiff child. The allegations about the child's symptoms are described as, after the filing of the complaint, HF allegedly began showing signs of DVTK, and because she is incapable of verbalizing, Fraley says she inferred symptoms through behavioral changes, including irritability, slamming her head against the floor, extremely high body temperature upon waking, among others. The allegations about ongoing harm include alleged irritability, anguish, sweating, pain, and suffering every day, with asserted unknown damages to the child's developing brain.